Kastelik in for the draw. Hayton wins it. The Bruins burst through. It's Coyle. He'll flip it up the near side and back into the Utah end with 10. What an effort. Back down out at center ice by the Bruins. They don't want to play it because they knocked it down with a high stick. It's driven deep, and that'll do it. The Boston Bruins play to their identity. Hard-nosed and stingy. Elias Lindholm in a game.
A 1-0 win for the Boston Bruins in Game 1 of Joe Sacco's tenure as interim head coach. As we welcome you to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Adam Pellerin, Barry Peterson, Andrew Raycroft here with you. You heard Brick say at the end, well, you heard Judd say first, they played to their identity. You heard Brick say they played with pride defensively, and that's what you were looking for tonight.
Yeah, I thought the compete level was much better. I thought notes it was layers and standing up was much better as we showed some of the highlights. Specialty teams, and you got the big save when you needed it.
And Brick said 1,000 times better in the neutral zone.
Yes.
and the neutral zone was the linchpin for this team defensively, and I think we saw it tonight. When you take care of the neutral zone, the defensive zone gets easier to take care of, and you can get some opportunities.
I also think the fans recognize that too. With 2 or 3 minutes left to go, they were on their feet and clapping because they recognized that the effort was there, and they're very appreciative of that.
Yeah, what a difference a few days make, right?
Exactly.
One day they were leaving early. Tonight they were staying late, and they were cheering on the Bruins for their effort. And you heard Don Sweeney talking yesterday. He said, you know what, we're not a hard out right now. You want to get back to doing that. And tonight, the way they played defensively, the way they competed, step one in that process.
It was. And again, as they said yesterday too, they got to walk first, right, Razor? They're not going to start here and do a marathon. But you just see here the closing space, taking it away, winning one-on-one battles, moving your feet, getting Utah back on their heels a little bit. But it all started with this offense. It all started, okay, well, maybe I got to start a little something here, too. And he was very involved right from the get-go. Mark Kastelik, he's not afraid of dropping those gloves, is he?
No, he's a big man. He's a big dude. So is Bortuzzo.
Yeah.
So those two guys going at it all night and setting tone. And the fourth line has had a great identity. This is a great play. This is just throw it in front of the net. Let's battle, let's grind, and let's compete. And they've had that mentality right from the get-go of training camp, and the rest of the guys kind of followed suit. Morgan Geekie with an absolute old-school mid-ice hit right in the numbers. That's a beautiful hit, and that sends messages through that neutral zone, making sure, and it helps the D create more time and space through there. Really nice job by the forward group.
Yeah, we talked about it, intermission. Good layers by the Bruins tonight, allowing them to transition from defense to offense.
Yeah, it was. And I think a lot of the top players, I'm looking at my list, I'd say Zacha, Pastrnak, Lindholm, and Marchand. The big four were much, much better defensively tonight, which they got rewarded for in a power play goal later.
Certainly. And again, it's easier to defend when all 5 people are on the same page and you're not in your zone for 2 minutes. You're defending through the middle of the ice. You're defending along the boards, and you're defending to get an opportunity to go offensive. You're not defending just to ice the puck or just to get a line change. It's a completely different mindset. And again, these are all things that we took for granted.
Correct.
In the last 7 years with this group and with this team, and we've haven't seen it in the last 20 quite the same way. We saw it back to closer to what it was. They still haven't scored more than 2 goals only once in the last 6 games now. They didn't finish quite the same way as they have, but defensively and one step at a time structurally was tonight.
Yeah, so the defense, as they go into the dressing room, the coach is going to say, hey, good job standing up. And what they're going to say is, forwards, good job coming back. That allowed us to stand up. We didn't have outnumbered opportunities. I know when I can look and I can see even, I can attack. Whereas before, when you had the turnover, the neutral zone bad, you're back on your heels and you're going, oh no, I got to back in.
And the goalie's saying, great job, defense, no odd man rushes. We talked, there wasn't any.
Nope.
No 2-on-1s, no 3-on-2s, no opportunities that they got high danger, that not getting to the middle of the ice off the rush and having a broken play, disconnected where the goalie doesn't know where it's coming from. So the goalie's going to be part of that as well.
There were a number of power play opportunities for the Bruins tonight on both sides, actually, as you take a look at the numbers. For Boston and Utah tonight, the Bruins getting 7 power play opportunities. Utah stifled on their 4 power play opportunities, but look at the shots.
Yeah.
That's the big difference right there for the Bruins.
Yeah, and I think as we said to Adam after the first period, I think it kind of carried forward, Razor, for the rest of the game, was that each progressive power play seemed to get a little bit better. The first power play they struggled the most on, right? And the crowd got a little, oh, here we go again. But they hung in there. And as they got more and more opportunities, man, they had all kinds of shots. As we said, 18. And their goaltender was spectacular. He just kept them in it and gave his team a chance to try and pull this out late. But the Bruins specialty teams, led by its power play, was much more effective.
No, and it was not just the numbers, not just the analytics, it's the eye test. And it's this guy, Elias Lindholm, getting off of the 17-game goalless streak. You see how excited the rest of his power play guys are. And it was a lot of that. It was a lot of retrieving pucks tonight. It was a lot of secondary effort that opened up those opportunities. And you watched, we talked so much about trying to get the bumper going. They were able to get the bumper going 2 or 3 times, and then they're able to go around the top, bypass it, look for the bumper again, and Lindholm's all alone in front. We haven't seen it.
No.
We haven't seen it look like this in any way whatsoever for a long time, and it's got to be rewarding for those guys.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's also, to your point, Razor, about the celebration. You know, you're seeing Pasta in there and Marchand in there and Zaka in there congratulating him. If you're a goal scorer in a career international hockey league, you're going to have dry spells, and we're all going to go through it. And you can see the relief on his face. But the other guys came in and were so excited, like young kids. It's like, hey, I know how good you feel now because I've been there myself. You know?
Yep. Star of the game presented by Subaru of New England. Fall in love with a brand new Subaru. Take a look at the numbers for Elias Lindholm. All 3 goals scored here at TD Garden. Again, snapping a 17-game goalless streak with a power play goal. And Billy Jaffe caught up with him after the game.
All right, thank you very much, Elias. The importance of that victory for your team is what?
No, it's huge. Obviously, it's been a chaotic couple of hours here, but, we find a way to, get a win there. I thought we played good for 2 periods. Obviously, the third period, we were sitting back too much. That's something we got to learn from, but we'll take the 2 points and go from there.
What did you like most about your team through the first 2 periods?
No, I thought we were, hanging on to pucks, making plays, playing physical, playing kind of fast, and had a lot of shots. So, there was a lot of things that we were doing well. So, just got to build off the first 2 periods.
All right, you and I had a quick talk this morning about what you might want to do or what you do when you're in a bit of a rut. A couple of goals early in the season. It's been a long time. You score the one and only goal in this game. First of all, it looked good. It must have felt good. We saw your celebration right there. But you talked about changing routine here and there. Did that help you with this kind of game that you had? Because you were all around, all effort in this one.
I tried a lot of things. It's been a while since I scored, like you mentioned, and I'm not sure how many games, but 18 or 17 games or something like that. So, it's been a lot of change of routine here for me and try to get my game going. But, it felt okay today. Always nice to score and help the team that way.
A lot of opportunities on the power play. What'd you like most about that?
I thought we had some good looks. Obviously, we got one there, but before that, I thought we were moving to, obviously the other unit was moving well and had a lot of shots, had a lot of opportunities, and then we finally found a way, and that's the, difference in the game.
Lastly, near the end of the game, empty net, you're smiling about it right now. All right, what was going through your head when you didn't score?
Give it to Pasta. That's kind of what was happening, but obviously, I tried to score there twice, but didn't make it. So try to give it to Pasta, and obviously he scored, but didn't count. So
save it for another time. Congratulations. Thanks for joining us in the postgame.
Thank you.
Almost his first multi-goal game as a member of the Bruins.
Yeah, it was, but it was really important as we were showing. We started off with the team defense and the layers.
Yeah,
it was very important for him, Pastrnak, Marchand, Zaka. Again, those 4 big guys to lead the way defensively. He was really good defensively at his own end, not only with the boxing out, winning some faceoffs, winning some battles, and then it's nice to see them get rewarded on the power play side.
No, exactly, and that's he's a 200-foot player, and that's why the Bruins want him, because he can play he can play the defensive zone coverage that they want centers to play. He can easily do it. He's very cerebral. But he wants to score goals, and he feels better about his identity as a player when he's scoring, and I can only imagine he's going to sleep better tonight. He's going to feel better at practice tomorrow, and then he's going to feel better at pregame skate, and he's going to feel better in Detroit. Just automatically, you score goals, you make saves, you get wins. It's amazing how quickly your mindset changes in this league.
All right, Liberty Mutual Insurance crease coverage. Take a look at the numbers for Joonas Korpisalo at home this year. 2-1-1, 171 goals against average, 935 save percentage, and 1 shutout. This was his second shutout of the season. He had 2 shutouts in a season only one other time in his career, which was the 1920 season with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And now he's got a 944 in his last 4 games. He's 3-0-1, and he looks steady Eddie, solid as he has when he was playing for the Los Angeles Kings before he went to Ottawa last season. And he's really worked hard on his game. He hasn't played a whole lot early in the season, but spent a lot of time, a lot of extra time on these morning skates and getting work in. And I just love his composure. I love where he's making saves in the crease. He had a little drift there on that 2-on-1. He's finding that's the best save of the night for me. That flash screen out in front of him. He gets his right elbow on it at the time of the game. That penalty kill for Mark Kaslik on the roughing call. And he did a good job managing the game as well. A couple long shifts, and he was able to get a glove on it, smother it, cover it, and allow his teammates to change up. So he's feeling good. This is another symbol. Watch how quickly off the post, finds a puck, but watch how he gets back into his post management. Was really good tonight. So, I mean, what more can you say? He's been awesome.
Yeah, and I really thought, too, he was especially good in that third period. You know, the first 2 periods, the Bruins did a really good job of attacking and having Utah back on their heels. That third period, as Elias said with Billy, we were backing off. We didn't make quite as many plays in that third period, and that's something they can build on. But, boy, he made some big saves when he had to. A couple of posts, you know. And he really – and when you're showing that video, the other key was he's making saves while they're shorthanded.
Yeah.
And they really needed that as well.
Meanwhile, Mark Kaslik made his presence felt tonight. He had more penalty minutes than time on ice. But after that Elias Lindholm power play goal, he and Robert Bortuzzo get into it for a second time. And then the Bruins have to go on a kill because a roughing was attached to this fight as well.
Yeah, and as we were talking about, he deserved the extra minor. Now, we maybe would have liked the minor called as he went after his head to begin with, right?
Well, yeah, he was seeing red there. For sure.
He was
definitely seeing red.
But as the guys upstairs said, too, this is one of those penalties when you're on the bench, you're going, boys, we got to kill this. I mean, he just went out there and he's been battling. He's had a couple of fights. This block shot here by Carlo hit you right on the inside.
Stiff tomorrow morning.
And you're going, oh, that's a little stinger. That's going to hurt. But again, as Brick likes to talk about, timely specialty teams. Here you have a 1-0 lead. You've just taken the lead. You got all the momentum going. You got a good penalty now. You got to kill it off. They killed this one off, and then they killed another one off, the Kepke slash in the third period, which was another big kill at that time of the hockey game, which is areas that they've been struggling at so far this year. So hopefully, again, you're starting to walk. You're not quite jogging yet, but you're going to learn some things. But to me, that effort was there right from the get-go, and the compete level was
maybe
good.
A brisk walk?
Speed walk.
Speed walk. That might be a next. You get a win on Saturday. Maybe that's a speed walk. Maybe it's a brisk walk outside. All right, still more to come here on Bruins Overtime Live. Joe Sacco 1-0 as interim head coach of the Boston Bruins. Andy Brickley's conversation with him is coming up next.